The Ashcroft Museum, a fortress of knowledge, history, and priceless artifacts. It stood as a testament to human achievement, a beacon of culture in a chaotic world. But tonight, it was nothing more than a vault ripe for the picking. At the heart of this imposing structure lay the Jewel Gallery, home to the most coveted prize, the Star of Caldera, a diamond of unparalleled brilliance, a stone whispered to hold the very essence of the cosmos. Legends surrounded it, tales of emperors and empires, of curses and blessings. The Star of Caldera was more than just a gem, it was a symbol of power, wealth, and ultimately desire. And tonight, that desire would be tested, as a shadow fell over the museum, cast by a thief known only as the Ghost. Luca Moretti, the man called the Ghost, was a study in contradictions. He possessed the refined taste of an art connoisseur and the steely nerve of a gambler. His eyes, sharp as any hawk's, held a hint of mischief, a glint of amusement that played counterpoint to the danger lurking beneath the surface. He wasn't alone. He worked with a team, each member a master in their own right.
Emma, the tech wizard, could charm any system, any firewall, melting through digital defenses like smoke.
Victor, the muscle, was a mountain of a man, yet moved with the grace of a dancer. His every action precise, deadly.
And then there was Isabel, a chameleon, a mistress of disguise. She could blend into any crowd, become anyone she chose. Tonight, she was the key, the face that would grant them access to the impenetrable fortress.
The annual Ashcroft Gala, an opulent affair dripping with wealth and influence, it was the perfect cover. Beneath the glittering chandeliers and the forced smiles of socialites, the Ghost's plan unfolded.
Isabel, breathtaking in a crimson gown, was their ticket in. She navigated the crowded ballroom with practiced ease, her laughter ringing out, drawing all eyes to her, away from the real action.
While the elite were distracted, Victor provided a silent shadow, ensuring no unwanted attention came their way.
Emma, meanwhile, was already at work. Tucked away in a quiet corner, her fingers danced across the keyboard, slipping past firewalls, disabling alarms, and granting access to the museum's inner sanctum.
The stage was set, the players were in position, the game was afoot. The signal came, a subtle vibration on Luca's wristwatch. Time to move.
They slipped away from the glittering throng, their movements fluid, practiced, invisible amidst the orchestrated chaos of the gala.
They reached their target, the vault door, thick, imposing, a steel guardian barring their way. But for Emma, it was a mere inconvenience. Lines of code scrolled down her screen, a digital symphony of her making. The lock disengaged with a soft click.
They were in. Inside, the air hung heavy, thick with the weight of history and the scent of aged wood and velvet. Each display case held a story, a testament to a bygone era.
But their focus remained unwavering. The Star of Caldera displayed on a pedestal in the center of the room, radiating an almost ethereal luminescence.
As Luca reached for the diamond, a blood-curdling scream pierced the night.
Panic erupted in the ballroom. The lights flickered, then died completely, plunging the museum into darkness.
What's happening? Isabel's voice was tight, laced with concern.
Backup generator, Victor rumbled, his hand moving instinctively to the weapon concealed beneath his jacket.
Stay sharp, Luca ordered, his voice calm despite the unexpected turn of events.
He could sense the tension in the air, the palpable fear that pulsed from the darkness. The unexpected power outage wasn't part of the plan. Someone else was playing the game tonight. Emma worked frantically, her fingers a blur. She fought to regain control of the security system. The pressure was immense and every second counted. She knew that failure was not an option. Minutes stretched into an eternity, each tick of the clock a hammer blow to their nerves. The team could do nothing but wait, their anxiety growing with each passing second. Finally, the soft glow of her laptop returned, bathing her face in an eerie light. Relief washed over her, but she knew the job was far from over.
Cameras are back online, she announced, her voice breathless. Her eyes scanned the monitors, searching for any signs of intrusion. But there's something else. Motion sensors on the second floor. Someone's here. Her heart raced as she relayed the information.
Luca didn't hesitate. He had been waiting for this moment, and now it was time to act. He snatched the diamond, its weight reassuring in his palm. The heist was going according to plan, but they had to move quickly.
Go, 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 he urged, his voice a low hiss. Every second was crucial, and they couldn't afford any delays.
They melted back into the shadows, their escape as silent and swift as their arrival. The team moved with practiced precision, each step calculated. Outside, the night air crackled with tension. The city seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the inevitable. Sirens wailed in the distance, drawing closer. The sound was a stark reminder of the stakes. They piled into the waiting car, the engine roaring to life. The driver didn't waste a second, speeding away from the scene. They were away, disappearing into the labyrinthine streets, leaving behind the deepening chaos of the museum. The night was far from over, but for now they had made their escape. Safe at their hideout, adrenaline still coursing through their veins, they gathered around the table, the stolen diamond shimmering beneath a single dim bulb. The air was thick with anticipation, tinged with a touch of apprehension. Luca carefully placed the Star of Caldera on a velvet cloth. His fingers, usually so steady, trembled slightly as he reached for the small pouch containing his tools. He had been waiting for this moment, for the culmination of weeks of planning and meticulous execution, but as he peered through his jeweler's loop, his breath caught in his throat.
"It's a fake," she breathed, her voice heavy with disbelief.
Victor's face hardened, a muscle twitching in his jaw.
Isabel, ever the pragmatist, simply raised an eyebrow, waiting for an explanation.
Luca slowly straightened, his face pale under the harsh light. A replica. A good one, but a fake nonetheless.
The weight of his words settled over the room, heavy as lead. They had risked everything, infiltrated one of the most secure locations in the world, only to be outsmarted, outmaneuvered by an unseen adversary. But who? Who could have orchestrated such a masterful deception right under their noses? And why? The questions hung in the air, unanswered, fueling the growing unease that gripped them. The silence in the room was broken only by the ticking of a clock, each second a stark reminder of their failure. The weight of their predicament pressed down on them, making the air thick with tension.
Luca paced back and forth, his mind racing. He could feel the pressure mounting with every step he took, the walls closing in on him. He had never encountered anything like this before. The complexity of the situation was beyond anything he had trained for. He prided himself on his meticulous planning, his ability to anticipate every eventuality. Every detail was always accounted for, every risk calculated. But this was beyond anything he could have imagined. The sheer unpredictability of it all left him feeling helpless.
"We were played," Victor growled, his voice low with barely suppressed rage. The realization gnawed at him, fueling his anger. Someone knew our every move. Every step we took was anticipated, every decision predicted.
"But how?" Emma interjected, her brow furrowed in thought. "Our communication was secure. Our intel was solid. We took every precaution."
Unless, Isabel said softly, her voice barely a whisper, our intel was compromised from the start. The thought was terrifying.
Her words hung in the air, a chilling possibility that sent shivers down their spines. The room grew colder as the gravity of the situation settled in. Had they been walking into a trap all along, every decision, every move, meticulously orchestrated by an unseen hand? Were they pawns in a larger game, manipulated by a puppet master they couldn't even begin to comprehend? The realization was both humbling and terrifying, leaving them questioning everything they thought they knew. The betrayal, if that was what it was, cut deep. It was a wound that festered, gnawing at the very core of their unity. They had always operated on trust, on the unwavering belief in each other's abilities. This trust was the foundation of their success, the bedrock upon which they built their plans. But now doubt crept in like a creeping vine, threatening to strangle their unity. It was a silent invader, sowing seeds of suspicion and fear.
Luca studied his team, his gaze lingering on each face. Were they hiding something? Each expression, each gesture was scrutinized for signs of deceit. Had one of them betrayed him? The thought was almost unbearable, a poison that threatened to destroy everything they had built. He pushed the thought away, refusing to believe it. He had to trust them, had to believe in their loyalty. They'd been through too much together, faced too many dangers. Their bond was forged in fire, unbreakable, or so he hoped. Their bond was forged in fire, unbreakable. They had faced the worst and come out stronger time and time again. "We need to find out who's behind this," he stated, his voice firm, resolute. There was no room for doubt in his command, "and we need to do it quickly." Time was of the essence, and they could not afford to waste a single moment.
The others nodded, their faces grim but determined. They understood the gravity of the situation, the urgency in Luca's voice. They had come too far to give up now. Their journey had been long and arduous, but they were not about to let it end in failure. The Ghost and his crew were not ones to back down from a challenge, even one as daunting as this. They thrived on adversity, on the thrill of the chase. They would find the truth, no matter the cost. Their resolve was unshakable, their determination unwavering. Together they would uncover the betrayal and restore their unity. The game had changed. It was no longer just about stealing a priceless diamond. It was about something much bigger, something far more dangerous. The Ghost had stumbled upon a conspiracy that reached into the highest echelons of power, and now he was a pawn in their game. But Luca Moretti was not a man to be underestimated. He would turn the tables, use their own game against them. He would find the real star of Caldera, expose the truth, and vanish back into the shadows, leaving chaos and confusion in his wake. The Ghost would strike again. It was only a matter of time.